Good morning. Happy Sunday. I have a new friend, Jorge Solano, and he had posted a video, or not a video, he posts amazing questions all the time. You should definitely look him up and follow him. He posts like all these cool questions that gets like the whole community involved. Good morning, Lindsay. Thanks for joining. And he posted the other day, if you were an athlete and you were going to get sponsored. Sorry, my alarm went off to tell me to go live. Whoops. So I was talking about Jorge Solano, and he posts amazing questions and has all these people interacting with him on a regular basis, responding to these like thought-inspiring questions that he asks. And the other day, he wrote in, if you were going to rep a brand as a athlete, would you rather rep Nike or would you rather rep Adidas? And it was funny because this morning when I was at the gym, I was looking at my outfit, and I'm literally wearing everything Nike right now. Like, I look like a Nike ad. Just do it. Good morning, Matt. Thanks for joining. So I have been on quite a bit of cruises in the past year, 2 years of my life. Actually, the last like 2 weeks, I've been on 2. And good morning, Helen. Oh yeah, I saw your Nike sneakers this morning. I saw your photo. I loved it. You're doing sprints in Miami right now, right? I live in South Florida, so we should meet up. But do sprints together with our Nike clothes. So right now I'm in the Bahamas on a Royal Caribbean cruise, and one of the things that's always kind of hard to know before you go on a cruise, if you've never been on one before, if you've never been on the different lines, is what are really the differences between the ones that go from Miami to the Bahamas, because there's 3 different cruise lines that are really popular to go Miami to the Bahamas, like a nice 3-day weekend cruise, something that's going to be short enough that you're, just doing like a weekend with friends. So I've been on Carnival, I've been on Royal Caribbean, and I've now been on the Norwegian cruise as well. In fact, the Norwegian cruise that I was on 2 weeks ago is parked right behind us. And oh, there's the Atlantis over there. You guys can check that out. Beautiful. Super fun to go to Atlantis if you've never been there before. So I wanted to share with you guys this morning what are the differences, so that if you're planning a cruise or thinking about taking a vacation, or know somebody who is, you can share this information with them, since I've been on all of them. Good morning, Shane. So first, let's talk about Carnival. That was the first cruise line that I had gone on for like a 3-day cruise to the Bahamas. I took my family on a Carnival cruise. So some positive things about Carnival and what I felt like were their strengths. They have a very family-oriented environment. So if you have kids, I would probably say Carnival would be my top choice for you if you're going to bring your kids with you on the cruise. They have a lot of children-related activities, a lot of families there, a lot of things that children can participate in. They also have the best activities going on at one time. So all of the cruises give you like a one-page sheet of everything happening that day on the cruise. My sister, by the way, is so cute. She loves cruising. And at Royal Caribbean, they have a little tag on your door that you put it on and it says snoozing, or you can flip it around and it says cruising. And when we were on a Royal Caribbean cruise, we used to put it on and would go cruising, and we would like leave the room. But my sister's adorable because she literally brings highlighters with her on cruises specifically so she can highlight which activities we're going to participate in. So if you are the kind of person that loves pre-planned activities, you like doing things, Carnival has the most amount of activities going on at one time that you can participate in. They also have a really great comedy club. So some cruises say they have a comedy club, but it's really just in their theater, and it's like in between the other acts. Carnival actually has like a separate area for a comedy club. It's called the Punchliner, and they have really strong comedians on Carnival. I also wrote down, I have my little notes on which cruise is the best and at each thing. Carnival also has water slides, which most of the other Royal Caribbean, at least the ship that goes to the Bahamas on a 3-day vacation, does not have a water slide. Neither does the Norwegian. So if that's something you'd look forward to doing, then you'd want to take a Royal Caribbean. You'd want to take a Carnival. So next is Royal Caribbean, which is the ship that I'm on currently. And it's really good for all ages. So there's kids, there's people who are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, there's people in their 20s, 30s. There's a real strong mix. Good morning, Beth Cherry. Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Sarah Jane. Thanks all for joining us. So Royal Caribbean's the best for all ages. This Royal Caribbean cruise that goes to the Bahamas and back has a rock climbing wall in the back, and it has a trampoline in the front. The trampoline is so much fun. You get like harnessed in, and then you like, it's crazy if you do it while the ship is sailing because you just like see out to the ocean. It's also pretty cool when you're at port because you can see like the entire Bahamas. Good morning, Michael. I saw that you were at the gym right now. Are you like working out while you watch this? Good morning, Colleen. Congratulations on being married. So happy for you. Royal Caribbean is also really good for its all-inclusive drink package because it, on the way to the Bahamas, they stop off at a private island called Coco Cay. And what's nice is if you buy the Royal Caribbean drink package, it actually applies to Coco Cay too. So that entire day, all of your drinks are paid for, and it includes their Starbucks. So there's a Starbucks on board on Royal Caribbean, and I'm a huge Starbucks junkie. So the drink package covers that. It covers soda. They give you one of those Coca-Cola cups, and it, you know those Coca-Cola machines that they have at like Firehouse Subs, and I think they have them at Burger King. I forget what they're called, like the Freestyle. That's what they're called, Coca-Cola Freestyle. You can get like Dasani waters, all sorts of stuff. They have those on board and Royal Caribbean. Royal Caribbean also has a Ben & Jerry's on board, so if you like sweets, if you like ice cream, Ben & Jerry's is here. I felt that Royal Caribbean also has the most engaged crew, like the crew that's trying the most to impress you, trying to really get involved with your vacation. The stewards are the most involved. The staff is really engaging. The bartenders remember you. The waiters remember you. I've gotten the sense that Royal Caribbean, I don't know how true this is, but the staff seems the happiest here. So I would say they probably do really well in employee surveys. And let's see, do I have anything else? Oh, if you go on Royal Caribbean, you have to, the last night, play the Quest game show. So my sister and I love going to all of the different events, and we went to watch like one of those like mock Broadway shows, and then the guy who was hosting the Royal Caribbean cruise, the cruise director, he was like, go to the Quest show, go to the Quest show, go to the Quest show. And we were like, I don't want to like go watch a game show. This sounds like, I don't know, whatever. But we were like, all right, we'll go do it. The best thing we did on the entire cruise. Like, we could have not gotten off the ship and just played the Quest game, and it totally would have been worth the vacation. It was so much fun. Last cruise line is Norwegian, and that's actually, I would say, my favorite, just because it aligns the best with the things that I would look for in a cruise. The Norwegian Sky, the one right behind us, right here, is an all-inclusive drink cruise. So in the price of your cruise, you don't have to pay for a drink package. So what's nice is, although you can buy all-inclusive at Royal Caribbean and you can buy all-inclusive at Carnival, you still have to carry your card around and swipe it all the time if you want a drink. And they're pretty strict on like, let me see your card, even for like a bottle of water. In the Norwegian Sky, since everyone has the all-inclusive drink package, you just go up to the bar and order what you want and then go on with your life. So you don't need to have your card, you don't need to worry about that. Also, because it's an all-inclusive cruise, I'm not sure that they mandate 21 up. In fact, there was like a 16-year-old that we met on ours, but it's pretty much a 21 and up cruise. So what's nice is if you don't have kids or you're not taking your kids on your vacation, it's the most mature cruise, but it doesn't actually have a very like large adult population. It has like very strong 20s, 30s, and 40s. It does obviously have people in their 50s, 60s, 70s too, but I would say really the core was like people on bachelorettes, bachelor parties, things like that are in their, younger adult years. So it made a really, really cool environment. Oh, Matt, they have a good game show as well at Carnival. They did one on Norwegian that was like Quest, but I'm pretty sure that Royal Caribbean created the Quest, so I'm not 100% sure. Elizabeth, Jerry, I will get to how much the drink package is. Give me 1 second. Because that's actually on my last part, which is my tips in general for cruising. So I'm going to end with some general tips, like regardless of what ship you take. Norwegian also has the best gym. So if you're going to work out while you're on your trip, which I highly suggest, right, Alicia? You should work out while you're on your cruise. Thanks for tuning in. Norwegian's gym is like an LA Fitness. Like, it is so nice. They have a huge like weight room with, they even have these like things from the ceiling. I forget what those are called. Alicia, what are those called? Where you like hang and you TX something, like the bands. They have all that stuff. And they also have a huge room with all the like fitness equipment with, you know, ellipticals, treadmills. It's just a really, really nice gym. And part of the reason why their gym is so much bigger in Norwegian is because the ship holds a lot more people. So another thing that's great about Norwegian is there's always a really good scene everywhere you go. There's always a lot of people because the cruise is a larger cruise. I don't know the stats for sure, but I would definitely say they have at least not double, but like 1.5 times the amount of people that the other cruises do. So more 20s and 30s, nicer gym. Their daytime activities aren't phenomenal on board. So it's best to, if you're going to go Norwegian, to be going with like a group that's going to pretty much entertain itself. Unlike Royal Caribbean and Carnival that have like activities every moment of every second, Norwegian was a little bit more low key in their staff generated activities. So I would say Norwegian is a really good one to go on if you're going with a large group. You're going to entertain yourselves anyway. And they are the best though for the nighttime activities. So because of the fact that it is an all-inclusive cruise for everyone involved, and there's the most amount of people in their 20s and 30s on that cruise, they have an amazing night scene. Every single night had a huge party. And it's not that Royal Caribbean and Carnival don't have night scenes. Norwegian's was just on a completely different level. So I would say if you're really looking for like a party cruise, Norwegian is the one to go on. Which is funny because I was just like, oh, like this is the one that I like the best, like party. But hey, if you're going on vacation, right? So I want to also give you guys some general tips. TRX. Oh, I got it right. Good. So I wanted to give you guys some general tips that if you're going to be going on a cruise in general, regardless of whether or not it's Carnival, Royal Caribbean, or Norwegian, some things to remember. One is that cruises can be really cold on the inside of the ship. So definitely bring a jacket with you for the nighttime and bring a sweater for during the day. Usually even if you go outside and it's 85, 90 degrees outside, it's like 70s in the ship. Especially Royal Caribbean. For whatever reason, the ship is really cold. Norwegian was actually better about that, and that's one of the reasons I really liked Norwegian is I wasn't freezing everywhere I went. But here I've been like wearing a leather jacket at night. Just like take it off for the photos. I would also suggest buying a drink package if you go on Royal Caribbean or Carnival. Typically, if you buy like one alcoholic drink on those ships, it's like $15 to $18 plus gratuity. And the drink package, depending on when you buy it, is somewhere around $200. That's another tip I would give you is if you are going to buy an all-inclusive drink package, which by the way covers coffees, juices, sodas. Again, in Royal Caribbean you get the soda cup for the Coca-Cola Freestyle. Then if you're going to buy it at least 3 days prior to your cruise online, because I was able to get our drink package for $160 here on this ship per person, where if you boarded the ship and bought it or even bought it within 3 days of the cruise, it was $225 plus gratuity, and mine was $160 including the gratuity. So I would highly suggest making that decision before you board so you can save a bit of money. Also, I wrote down as far as some general tips is that snorkeling is a really good excursion. So if you come to Nassau, Bahamas, there's usually a couple different snorkeling options that your cruise will offer. I've done both snorkeling options that they offer, which is one, you just take like a regular little boat out and snorkel, and then two is you take like a catamaran out and snorkel. If you're with a group, you want to take a lot of pictures, you want to really enjoy the experience, I would say take the extra money that it's going to cost to go on a catamaran. But if you're going like just to snorkel, like you just want to see the fish, then take the ferry. It's like literally less than half the price. I think our excursion was like, when we did the like little boat as opposed to a catamaran, it was like $35 to go on the whole excursion, where the catamaran is like over $100. So it just depends on what you want, but snorkeling is a really, really good excursion. If you've never been to Atlantis before, I would say Atlantis could be a good excursion, but it's a fairly expensive excursion for what it is. So what you do, if you pay $120 or something like that, they'll cart you over to the Atlantis, which is over there, which is an amazing facility. But I would say if you really want to go to Atlantis, just fly to the Bahamas and go to the Atlantis for a few days. That way you can really enjoy it. I don't think that the $120, personally, my opinion is it's not really worth it to go over there for a day. You have a couple hours in their facilities. You're not really experiencing it to the fullest. So I would say if you want to go to Atlantis, just go to Atlantis. Don't do that on your cruise. It also doesn't give you time to go to Senor Frogs, which is super fun, and pretty much everyone from your cruise will be there. You got to get one of those like really big drinks. They have like those really tall glasses, and definitely take a photo on the Senor Frogs chair. It's like a must-do if you're in the Bahamas. So if you go on the one-day excursion over to Atlantis, you don't have time to do any of that. You don't have time to go to the straw market. So I would suggest just doing that as a separate trip. There is a formal night on every single cruise. So it's usually the second night. Norwegian did it as a white night, so you're supposed to wear all white. We missed the memo. We thought the white night was the first night, so we wore white the first night, and then we wore black the second night. We were like, whoops. The first night we were like, why is no one else wearing white? Like, we thought it was white night. And then we looked at the itinerary and we're like, oops, my bad. Hey Austin, hey Anita, hey Brendan, hey Don. Thanks for joining us. Sharing some tips about going cruising. I've been deemed the cruise expert on my trip now. Everyone, when we walk around, they're like, Janine, where's this? Janine, what should we do for this? Just because I've gone on so many cruises lately. So formal night, bring something nice. Some people get really into it, like prom style, rented a tux, hardcore. But if you don't want to go formal, there's also people who would just wear regular clothes on formal night too. So don't feel weird if you don't want to. I would also highly suggest buying the internet package. Obviously, that's how I'm talking to you guys, is I bought the internet package. Hey Austin, thanks for joining. But I would say another reason I would buy the internet package is so that you can Google things to do on the way there, look up, different, look up like reviews of the different excursions. I went on an excursion that I thought was going to be super cool when we went to Mexico. It was like a horseback riding through Mayan ruins, and it was super lame. The Mayan ruins were like this big and on a rock, and it was like just not what we expected. We still had fun, we still made the most of it, but it just didn't meet my expectations, and I'm sure if I had looked some reviews up first, I would have known that. So I would say buy the internet package for that reason. You can have multiple devices if you buy internet packages, so it allows you to communicate with the other people on the ship, like text them, hey, where are you? People get lost on the ships, like you will lose your group at one point. If you don't want to buy the internet package, I would bring walkie-talkies so that you can communicate with each other through that way. I also like the internet package just so I can upload photos throughout the trip as opposed to getting home, because when I don't post them throughout the trip, I'll never post them. So if you want to see my cruise photos, follow me on Instagram. It's at Janine Naomi Live. I think I have two more tips. One, this is my tip, like regardless of where I go. So in addition to a jacket, which I said you're gonna need at night, regardless of where I'm traveling, always bring a sweatshirt and sweatpants, because you never know when it's gonna be cold, or you never want to be uncomfortable. So, and then finally, on all of the ships, regardless of which one you go on, bring shampoo and conditioner with you, especially if you have long hair. You're gonna get your hair tangled in the wind and the sun and the sand, and they're like all-in-one shampoo thing is not gonna cut it. So bring your own shampoo and conditioner, that way you can feel good, feel ready. I would bring a blow dryer too if you have long hair, because their blow dryers are like subpar. So you should go on a cruise, Austin. They're super fun. And they're actually a really inexpensive vacation, because most cruises are somewhere between $300 and $500 for the weekend. All your food's paid for. In some cases, like Norwegian, your drinks are paid for, and all of your activities are paid for. So it's actually a really, really good way to vacation. So I hope you guys have an amazing Sunday. I hope you start planning your new vacation soon, and this video helps you choose which cruise is going to be best for you. Have a great day.